Mbote Kembo Kemo na Tanzania Mazulu Mfumu Kyaku Isa Nzambi Moesha Nzambi Okabenisha Nzambi Monene Nzambi Ampungu Tulenda Kongo Yabi. All praises. I want to say away in the Siemi Kambote Keno. If it's the morning time to Sikamene, for all of you who might be on the continent as well as the other side of the world, I give greetings. Yenge Keno, Salakyambote, hope all is doing well. Betwabu. I want to give all praises to Tatanzambi and Kongo Tulendo, Kongo Yabi, for the things that he's doing today. Matondo Masakila Baba, for allowing me once again to come in front of all of you to do another video about the times that we're facing and the rough times ahead. For those of you, we don't know the day or the hour of our demise, but we know that if you do live to see the next year or two, we're going to start to begin to see what I call the nightmare that never ends for so many people. All praises. I want to wish everyone a Bilaka day. I know I'm not celebrating this day, and we know, and it's funny because I saw this weird looking, well, I know they put it together, but it was a video demonstrating the truth about this day, the real sacrifice that took place, and many of the things that were bad about it. That's why I said the world doesn't understand that they've been turned into Masons, whether they know it or not. And you become a Masonic follower of many things outside of their temple. And that was the whole intent, is because they needed to make sure that the Nzuzi, the Bakongo people, the Bana Betu nZolele, would never return to their position above Esau. Esau represents the kingdom of Baal. He's Kaina, he's Nimrod, he's all these things. He's Amun-Ra, he's with Lilith and all these other false deities. He's the Kundalini spirit I want to talk about, because all the gods, all they do is reinvent themselves. When Esau came to start worshiping them, it's because Tatanzambi turned his back on him because of the things that he was done. These are the two nations, and this is how the world is operating. He is in cahoots with all of those that Tatanzambi rejected because of their decision to reject the teachers of Nsemu. Nsemu was the one who taught the way of Tatanzambi first after the flood of Noka. He and Noka were the ones trying their best to get people back on track. However, we know what happened to Kama and his offspring. And then, of course, they would go and they would infect Yapeta's offspring. And, of course, Ishmaeli and Ismaili and Esau, Ishmaelites and Jebusites and all the others would begin to, once again, be under the Kundalini spirit, because that's the spirit of Kaina. Cain is the Kundalini spirit that people talk about. People just affiliated with the goddess of India. The Indian people are also descendants of Japheth, and also mixed with Hamitic customs and beliefs. And that's why you see some of the things that they do ritualize are similar to what they did in Canaan, and what they did in Babylon, similar to what they did in Mesopotamia, similar to what they did in Gomer and Ashkenaz, and also similar to what you see with many of the Mayan and Aztec and all this type of things that's going on. Everything's about human sacrifice with Baal, including the concept that they have been indoctrinated through religions like Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, because you're going to start to understand that this is why Tatanzambi told us to stay away from the ways of the heathen, but we didn't listen. So the world's been suffering because the Nzuzi have gone astray. All praises. Kimbo, hallelujah. I'm going to have my intro. If you don't hear it, I'm sorry. Like I said, it's the one I usually play with the lion. This is just for my own benefit, to get me going in the right direction. First of all, I'll say, Bana Betu, Imana Vela Mpasali Seto, Kimba Tanzania Mazulu, Kimfumu Kyakuisa, Tanzania Pungo Fallen. Matana Masakla for this day, Matana Masakla for what you are doing. Continue, please, Yaya, to expose all of the wicked ways of the imposters, of all those who are worshiping Amun Ra, and those who are continuing to be deceived by the wicked one, that continue to lead many astray and not understand that they're not going where they think they're going, Father, because the world continues to be deceived by Leprechaunina and all of the gods that were affiliated with him, as well as those who continue to push narratives that are through the spells of the witch and all the wizards and all the things that continue to do in this time. Continue to break us free and to help us to see clearly more and more as a true Maya Mona is expected to be able to see through the lies and the deceptions of this world. Nakome Bana Betu Kongo, Imitate. Assalamu alaikum, Makongo. We give honor to the Kuluntu. We give honor to that have come from Tata Ablama and Mama Eva, and are continuing to help us to wake up to the lies and the deceptions that have been put upon us in this world. Nakome Bana Betu Kongo, Imitate. All praises. We're going to get started here. All praises. Simba Wayuda. We're getting ready for his reign. The Kwatulendo. Duka Tanzambi Mpungu, the Mwana Nzambi. Hallelujah. Kimbo. All praises. This isn't going to be too long as my others. I just want to help people understand some things. Time to shake the dust off our sandals. We've said all we can say. But people need to understand. If they don't get it by now, the truth is out there. It's on them. Now people are speaking it. They don't want to get it. They're not going to get it. Time to rise. Yimbila. Tanzania. Telema. Kutelema. Rise. Hallelujah. I'm going to probably sing a song today. So I'm going to pull that up now. Get my stuff ready. Once again, we are coming into some interesting times, people. Seen that one. All praises. We are here in a time. We saw some events that took place. People are even trying to figure it out. What happened in New York? I'm going to tell you. I told people a long time ago that Nzambi has said that the longer they keep us, it's going to always be unstable. Esau's time is up. He wants to continue to lie to the world, him and Baal and everybody else in Kaina. And the bottom line is we are at a time where the world wants to continue to believe the lies that they were taught in the churches and the synagogues and the temples and the mosques. The world want to, in the temples of all the different religions, that's on them. But the reality is that as soon what happened is that this is the 12 tribes' fault. Okay, we never learned to stop learning the ways of the heathen. I'm going to get into the book of Jeremiah, Lamilia 10. We're going to start right there. Okay, let me share my screen. This is why the world is the way it is. All praises to Kemba the Nzambi. I'm going to replace Adonai, which is what they use with Nzambi Mpungu or Fumoyavi, Sonini Nanini Somandla. Okay, this is Israel. See how they do even the apostrophe. This is Esau's name. This is not Yahubi's name. Isaiah and Zolele. This is Isis, Ra, and El. Okay, and Goyim is how we would say in Goyim. This is how we said it in the Bantu language as I understand it. So that Goyim comes from Goyim, which is what they mean by Gentiles. And Goyim literally means pagans. The children of the Phoenician descendants and the Hittites and all the mixture with Edom, okay, they are also pagans, because just like in the days of Noka, when you worship false gods, you're considered worshiping Baal. You worship the Watchers, and you consider yourselves the descendants of the Nephilim, then you are worshiping pagans. Bana Betu nZolele were the ones of Nzambi, and this is exactly what Christianity, Judaism, all of the world is doing. All right. Here the word of Nzambi speaks to you, house of nZolele. Here's what Mfumu Yahweh says: do not learn the way of Goyim, or the Mazungu, or the Bango. Don't be frightened by astrological signs, even if the Bango or the Goyim Mazungus are afraid of them. For the customs of the people are nothing. They cut down a tree in the forest, a craftsman works it with an axe, they deck it with silver and gold, they fix it with a hammer and nails so that it may move not. Like a scarecrow in a cucumber patch, it cannot speak. See, they had the scarecrows back in the day. See, they're not new. It cannot speak. It was to be carried, but because it cannot speak, be not afraid of it. It can do nothing bad. Likewise, unable to do anything because the scientific community has lied to people. Trees are living. Okay, they have souls because the Most High Spirit is on the earth. They kind of coded in the stories of witches and stuff like that, where they show the forest that turns dark and becomes evil, like in the story of Hansel and Gretel and everything. They show it in the movie Maleficent, where the trees start to move and everything. So, this is a lot of the deception, okay? We know that the earth has been modified and changed because of the curse of Kaina, just like what happened with the thorns and thistles. We're seeing a repeat in places where many of the curses are upon these people. Soon and very soon, we're going to see more and more things happening, like as in the case of what happened in the curse of Abana and the apocalypse of Abraham. So what we're getting ready to witness now is the next phase, okay? So many deceptions coming. They're going to continue to push their agenda. They're going to take you down with the ship. That's on them. For those of us who understand this thing, we're not trying to do that. But hopefully, King Kongo will continue to hide us behind Ark Mwanda, as Simon Toko talked about, and like King Kimbangu spoke of. People don't even know. I heard something about Yohane the Baptista, Yohane the Batika, the John the Baptist in the head, and they don't know that Simon Kimbangu was his spirit, and he was also Elijah. That's why they didn't want the world to know that he had given the warning of 100 years, because they're under this thing called grace, when they don't even understand that the word grace or charity is the name of one of these what did I put it? Well, it's a goddess of it was one of the goddesses of Greece. So that's why they keep saying, say grace. It get used to this grace thing. They don't understand that they're talking to, is that it? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's this one. This is who they're praying to. Or graces. Okay, the three muses. Okay, you see them? That's the spirit of Christianity is under. They just don't get it. And this is connected to what I want to talk about is the Kundalini spirit. Okay, so this is where it's called Chakra, the Atman, Kundalini, and Nadi. You see where the Kundalini is down here at the bottom. This is why the harlot is about, when they talk about the being drunk with the wine of the harlot, this is when women, the seducing spirits that allow you to be brought into darkness and sleeping while you think that you're awake. Okay. It says in Hinduism, Kundalini is a form of divine feminine energy, or believed to be located in the base of the spine and the Muladhara. It is an important concept. This is another name for the fake god. This is a god. This is another name for Lilith, by the way. What is believed to be, this is the Shakti. Okay, I've actually seen people do dances and stuff where they make their people come and make the multiple arms. You know, it's like they don't even know what they're doing, but that's part of it. Divine feminine, and the form aspect of goddess, this energy in the body was cultivated and awakened through tantric practice, is spiritual liberation. The supreme being in this, okay, you got these guys, and what's a goddess? Okay, now when you talk about Bartholomew and Toma, they went to the India region, okay? This is where you talk about with the yoga, okay, spiritual, the new age, okay, but they don't understand it's not new age, it's old. This is one of the things, this comes out of, this is the whole concept behind the Jungle Book when they had the snake Ka, okay? It's to show you that people are under the spell or the what they call the snake eyes. Okay, and this is why those who break free of this spell, you are the idiot. Those who are still under it, you are the one that's okay. And this is how the world has been turned upside down, because the people who are working for this spirit are telling you that nothing is wrong with the world, or they're telling you that they're doing it right. But the people who are trying to invert out of this spirit, we're the ones doing it wrong. Okay, that's the whole concept behind paganism. Paganism is going to cause you to worship this spirit. It's going to cause you to be connected to it, and then those who operate under it, they're going to be able to cast spells. Okay, and this is what makes people believe what they're told. People don't even know the scientific community is 100% under this. because of the two snakes that's affiliated with the magicians of Egypt. Okay, that's why you're not going to be able to convince people that the scientific knowledge that they're learning is really pharmakia or sorcery, because this is what they have been taught by those who operated under this type of mentality for hundreds of years. This is why when we tell people you are a sorcerer when you're doing religions, is because when you are a pagan, you are putting out this spirit, okay? Now, people try to say that Toko and Kimbangu and many other Gangan zombies are under the same spirit, only if they're doing Kindoki, okay? This is the Kindoki spirit. This is the spirit that the Canaanites were sacrificing under. And of course, this is the she-devil spirit is connected to this also. So what people don't understand is that the reason why, and this is why we're going to start saying to start shaking your sandals, is because the mentality of paganism will always make it look like there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. And that's why you cannot follow the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments with this spirit. You're going to struggle all the time. And this is what we're fighting against even now. This is the spirit that's across America. This is the spirit that's across Canada. This is the spirit that's across Central America, South America. This is the spirit that goes across Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, even dare I say Antarctica, which I know what that is. That's where the origins of a lot of this stuff is. But the concept is that the world leaders are under the harlot, but they will not tell you that. And anyone who says so will say that you're listening to conspiracy theorists, because this is exposing them. Okay? The one thing that the world leaders don't want to see is them being exposed to the fact that they've been lying to people for so long, because they work for the Kundalini spirit. They work for the serpents. They work for the watchers. They work for the Amun-Ra spirit. That's why, you know, when you show people that the phallic in Washington, D.C. is this spirit, no, you're crazy. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Of course, because see, the people who control the narrative are always going to tell you the opposite. They're going to make you believe that, because so when I put this up here, okay, when I go and I put this up here, and they're going to tell them, okay, I'm going to tell them, look, this is the one that's in front of the Vatican, okay? When you tell them that this and this are the same, they're going to say, no, you're crazy. America wouldn't do that to us. No. The concept is everybody who formulated the United States of America was under oath of the fallen angels, okay? The watchers, we go back even to Europe, Britain, France, Germany, you know, even when you deal with some of the issues going on in Asia and Gog and Magog in China, this is the dragon of China is this spirit, okay? Is the Kundalini, okay? So essentially, this is the opposite of him, of King Kongo, Tatanzambi. This is the complete opposite. This is the Anti Yapome instead of Yalankuvu. Now, the greatest deception about people with this spirit is they are able to really manipulate your mind and how you think. Okay, let's go to Ephesians. Okay, and this is again once in the CJB concept, so you can kind of understand a little bit more on how they really interpret it. It says, and we know, but this is episode, we didn't call it Ephesians. It says, have nothing to do with the deeds produced by darkness, but instead expose them. Okay? This is what causes this awakening to be a threat. This is what causes us who have said, look, we're not playing this game anymore with you guys to be seen as the pariah. You know, people keep saying you're crazy or you need to go see a doctor, you're Looney Tunes or whatever. And that's the whole concept. Those who have this spirit, okay, they will never see what darkness is. They will look at darkness the way they've been taught, but they won't see the true spirit of darkness is always going to manifest as light. Okay, they're not going to see that. Okay, the true nature of the darkness will manifest like light. This is what even the scriptures talk about. Okay, this is how many people have been deceived by different types of spirits because they don't always come, like I said, like wickedness. They come like a newborn baby. They come like your best friend down the street. They come like an old woman who's giving you cookies. Okay, people don't understand that the false Messiah and his mother, they're bakers. They bake a lot of stuff they cook a lot of things that people are eating that they don't even understand are actually messing with your head. You know, they talk about, oh, people going to go eat CBD cookies and candies. There's stuff that's put into everyday food, and this is how they laugh. There's stuff that's in everyday food that's worse than what you get at the marijuana place. They just don't know it. It's worse for you than that. Okay. That's the whole concept, though, is that herbs used the right way, or let me say again, herbs used the right way will cure you of a lot of things. Now, as a disclaimer, they'll say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna say this and that." No, because I mean, I studied in the medical field, but I didn't become a doctor. Mostly with animals is what I was supposed to be doing, but I kind of noticed something even then when I was doing it. I'm like, something is not right. And I could tell just working with even a vet that something was off. And this is when you see, you know, and then of course, when you're dealing with yourself as a human being, I never really liked going to the doctor. I really didn't. You see, because I understood things that most people who don't work in the medical field, that many of them are going in with the attitude, I'm going to help people. When they don't understand, the people who have created the medical field have a totally different agenda. Okay, that's the whole concept. Okay, so it says have nothing to do with the deeds produced by darkness, but instead expose them. So what is darkness? What are the deeds of darkness? Anything that goes against the Yalam Kuv, the spirit, the Mwanda Velala of Yalam Kuv, the Moyam Peve, the righteous Holy Spirit. Anything that goes against the law, statutes, and commandments of King Kongo are always going to be darkness. People don't even know that name. That tells you you've been under darkness. Okay. We called him Tata Kongo, Tata Nzambi, Yepowa. I mean, you know, we described him based upon his actions. Bana Betu, this is the name, Bana Betu, you know, the Tata Nzambi. This is why they don't want people to know the truth, because Esau spoke Kikongo. He's still a demon, though. He speaks Kikongo fluently. 100%. Okay, that's why he don't want Bana Betu to remember that. Okay, and even when he speaks Kikongo fluently, he's not a good spirit. This is why you got to understand that. The dragon speaks Kikongo fluently. Okay, speaks Bantu languages fluently. He speaks every language on the earth. Okay, he knows them all. He knows the Latin. He knows all these things. You must understand that that's why they're able to take words and use them against you, so that you don't see. so that you don't become a Mayamona. A Mayamona means, all it means is one who can see. A Nabi, a seer. Okay, now not everybody was given this gift. There's many different gifts of the spirit. Okay, but the problem is the ones who have become Mayamona or begin a seer or have a spirit, they can be one of two ways: through the real Holy Spirit or through the Kundalini, through the snake, through the imposter, through Ka. Okay, the snake eyes. And when they are doing these things, it isn't like they don't have power. They have lots of power. But who is giving them the power is the sins of the Bana Betu, nZolele. See, the disobedience of the Bakongo people is what gives the snake his power. That's why now what Tatanzambi is getting ready to do is sever the connection completely. When he opens up the heavens back to his people and he closes it to the people who are under the spells, you will see the difference between those who operate with true power and those who operate with imposter power. Okay? All the world can only be manipulated when they truly buy into those who are manipulating them. And see, the reason why we become the enemy is because everything is based off of three things: power, wealth, and control of all things. Okay? Power, wealth, and control of all things. These type of people, they don't want to lose the control, they don't want to lose the power, and they don't want to lose the wealth. This is the concept of why people will be told people like me are crazy. When you have it's no different when you look at criminals, okay, especially you're dealing with people who are involved with rape. Okay, no, I don't want to trigger anybody, but you know, some of the people understand, and this is what's happening to the bride of the Most High, actually. Okay, we are being spiritually controlled and manipulated and beaten down by this false spirit. This is what it really is. It's like being under the control of a rapist for 500 years. And those of us, you know how you see the people, they want to escape someone who's their captive, who has been abusing them for so long. This is what is happening with those of us who are saying, we've had enough. We don't want to be with this guy anymore. But see, the world doesn't even know he exists because of what he has done. He's made it to where several different facets have been created so you don't even notice that you're under the control of this false god like that. Okay? Because everything is designed to control. You need several different things to, you know, the main things to survive: food, water, and things, you know, finance. But they've turned it into a concept of, they think that you're living when you have more than others, where below it becomes about survival. And they don't understand is that this is the manipulation concept of how they've made everything into a competition. Okay? Everybody's competing for what? What are they competing for? This is where you get the issues of people being mistreated or however they're being treated. Those who have an attitude of, you don't deserve this, versus, we should help these people, you know, this type of thing. The homelessness problem, the affluent, the less affluent. Where is this coming from? Okay. This concept is where people think they're making a difference, but you cannot do it carnally. You cannot you cannot do it unless you're in the proper spirit. And the only way to do this is if you know how to operate in the proper spirit. See, all Christians will see is the good things that they'll see happening with their churches, but they don't see the bad. They cover that up. They see the good side. They don't see the bad. Okay? That's the part you're missing. You think, oh, my churches don't do bad. Oh, churches do plenty bad, as you will soon see. Okay? Because the concept is it has to look good, but that doesn't mean that it is. Because if it looks good, then they'll buy it. You're dealing with a snake oil salesman every Sunday. And if whatever you go to the mosque or the synagogue or whatever, it's still a snake oil salesman. Because in reality is true power doesn't need people to come find it. You will know where it is. That's the concept. A person with true power and true understanding and true knowledge and true wisdom, you will go searching for that. They won't have to find you. That's why when Fumu he talked about his Abafundi when they went out going looking to teach the word of Tatanzambi. He said, look, only go to those who you deem worthy of receiving this truth. That's why he made the comment about not teaching it to those who are unworthy. Specifically those that who are going to treat you bad for learning it. Okay? This is the whole concept of why we will be completely and utterly persecuted once more and more people start to understand that it's the snake of the garden that you have always been connected to. Okay, and the witch. All right. There are those who do this willingly because this is what they live on, and this is how they make their well-being, but they don't talk about it. But they come out and they're dressed and they look they'll come out and they'll do their nice speeches and they'll do their nice sermons and they'll come out and they'll do the nice singing and they'll do everything like that. And they'll say, there's no way this could be bad. Okay? Until you start to realize the spirit that's talking to you is this, which very soon you will see this talking to you. You're going to see it. I'm telling you, it's going to be like, whoa, that's not okay? You're going to see this spirit talking to you as if it was a person in whatever language you speak. Okay? That's why this spirit doesn't like people like me, doesn't like people like anybody who says you're talking to the head of a snake. You're interacting with the snake god. Okay? Now, does it mean the snake was bad? No, because Tatanzambi created the serpent. It's all about, and he used the serpent as well, okay? It's the spirit that you're under that determines whether or not you can understand the true meaning of life or if you're just going along with the game. Okay? People talk about, oh, I'm going to become an engineer, I'm going to become a politician, I'm going to all the different things. You have to understand something about the real creator is you don't go find your job, he gives it to you. This is the thing. You become what the Mwanda gives you to be. And you stay in your lane with that job. This is why Kuswa Kongo, Tatanzami was getting angry, because when people were giving different positions, they were abusing that position because they were under this spirit. This is what caused our problem. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, because I finally came across a picture of it. Let's see. Let's see if we can find. Let's see if it'll show it to me. Let's see the image of it. There it is. Okay. This was the temple that they have reconstructed, that Intinu Solomon built when Shaitani got upset that he made him build the temple of Tatanzambi, the nZolele. Okay, this is the temple that was resembling Moab. Now you'll see, if anybody's ever come across their ritual, harem abith or whatever, they talk about it. I saw somebody showing it. They had a video. Okay, this is the temple Tatanzambi got ticked off about. This is what divided us as Bana Betu nZolele. This is what he built in Moabi. And you can see how it resembles the Tower of Babel. And when you go to Giza, that temple is supposed to be the replacement for the tower. Okay. Why this is called Sol Amon is because when he built this temple, he was under the spirit of our grandfather Nimrod, which he should not have been. He should have been rejecting it like Abana. Okay, this is not how we're supposed to be worshiping the Most High. This is how you worship Satan. Okay. Now, people, you see the pillars there. Okay, and so what happens is, when we go back to what it says it says here in Ephesians, and we're going to go back to the whole chapter. Okay. It says, for it is shameful even to speak of things people do in secret. Okay. That's why I don't really like to talk about some of the things. If you go back, so imitate. So here's what we talk about, the whole concept of different interpretation and the way it should be reading from the Kikongo understanding. Our job is to imitate the Most High, imitate Tatanzambi, imitate, okay, because God technically is the dog God, okay? There's a difference between imitating Tatanzambi and imitating the dog God, okay? This is what people don't get. That's why the world is really truly deceived. Okay, so it says, imitate Tatanzambi as his dear children, and live a life of love, Zola, just as also the Messiah loved us. Indeed, on our behalf, gave himself up as an offering, as a slaughtered sacrifice to Tatanzambi. See, people don't get it that when they say that, oh, the Bible is fake, or this Messiah didn't exist, or I don't agree with this, or they want to be like the Pharisees who say that the Messiah never came, or they go back to saying that the New Testament was fabricated. Okay, they don't understand, like I said, that divider needs to come out, because what Kuswa Kongo did, and it was already and this is the problem, it's prophesied in the Old Testament. It isn't like it didn't happen. They just acting like it didn't happen. The problem is, it was prophesied by Hanoka. It was prophesied by Insetu. Okay, it was prophesied to Adama. Okay, and I talked about the scripture that brought it up, that Hanoka even knew he was going to be coming. This is why Kama and his seed had to intercept it through the spirit of the Kundalini they were under, and say, oh no, see, Nimrod is the sacrifice that was promised, and he's replacing Adama. That's why they tried to erase it through the Sumerian text, that Noah's Ark and everything was just a story, and all these other things that took place. And that this is the Anunnaki did this and da da da, because the Anunnaki are reptilians. They are serpent seed. Okay, you don't get it. They are the Kundalini spirit. So of course they're not going to tell you the truth. Okay. So it talks about, it says, when he was destroyed by the Sanhedrin, okay, and when he was given up, it was a sacrifice to Tatanzambi, as if you did a Pascha lamb, the Passover lamb. Okay? So his job was to replace that lamb, which was promised also back during the time of our Antiquity in Egypt, which was also promised back in the days of Noah. Now, what we did wrong is we rejected the sacrifice when we went back to Rome, because the Roman Empire claimed to be connected to this Messiah, when in fact they have been with the imposter who said, "I am the Messiah." We talked about him. And this is when when Lilith copied the future. You don't understand. She copied the future. She knew the prophecy and she tried to intercept it. This is what Christians don't understand. By using the Hamitic tribes and their beliefs, they're starting with Canaan. This is where you get where she went and told the people under the spell, my son is fulfilling the prophecy. And then they told it a certain type of way. Okay. Through the Mesopotamian and all this. And when he got killed, Tammuz is the replacement. But then he got killed. But she still made the world believe, no, these are the people you're waiting for. The Bana Betu of nZolele, the Bakongo people said, we started to do it when we go in captivity every time, but then there were those who say, no, this is not him. Okay. So then when the promise did show up, there were those who said yes, and there were those who said no. And that was all based upon the two spirits. Okay. And then future on, there's those who said, yeah, we have the real one. No, you have the imposter. This is the whole concept of what the world doesn't get. You have the one that pretended to be, not the one that is. Okay? That's what this spirit does. So it says, among you, there should not be even mentioned there should not be mentioned sexual immorality or any kind of impurity or greed. These are utterly inappropriate for Tatanzambi's holy people. Also, out of place are obscenity and stupid talk or coarse language, and said you should be giving thanks. For of this you can be sure every sexual, immoral, impure, or greedy person, that is, every idol worshiper, has no share in the kingdom of Messiah and of Tatanzambi. Let no one deceive you with empty talk, for it is because of these things that Tatanzambi's judgment is coming on those who disobey him, so don't become partners with them. Here's the problem. This was spoken several years ago, generations ago. Okay? Well, the first time the mess up took place is with the churches and what happened with the sorcerer and his false disciples. So this is what this warning was for. Because there were false messiahs then, and there were false disciples then, and they were causing people to do sexual immorality. They were causing people to be impure, and they were causing people to be greedy and doing inappropriate things, like the Romans, like the Greeks, like all the other pagan places. Okay? This is why he was upset with the converted Phoenicians, because they themselves were being hypocrites. They knew what they were doing were some rituals, even like King Herod and those type of things. Okay? For you used to be darkness, but now united with the Mfumu, you are light. Now here's the trick. You have been merged back to the sorcerer when you became Christianized by Rome's teachings. And then also when you think about it, of what happened in the protest, it never changed you from worshiping Baal. And the Catholic Church will never admit to you that they are worshiping Baal. They're not going to tell you that. And neither will the Eastern Orthodox churches, who they themselves, the reason why they got in trouble is because they didn't all want to change the images. Okay? That was the whole issue after what happened 500 plus years ago. People don't know this argument. But at the same time, you cannot get any salvation from anybody but through the chosen people. This is what the Messiah said. My people will teach the truth, nobody else. This is something that was said. Okay? You will learn from them and then pass it on, but you don't ever go above them. This is why they had to manipulate what Paul said. Paul never said that. He always said to the Bayuda first, then to the Ngoyim Goyim. Not the word Gentile was in Goyim. He said to the Bana Betu first, then to the Ngoyim Goyim. And of course, the people who changed the scriptures, they know this. So, for you are used to darkness, but now live like children of light. For the fruit of the light is very good of goodness, rightness, and truth. Kongo. That's what truth means. Try to determine what will please the Mfumu. Have nothing to do with the deeds produced by night, for it is shameful, but everything exposed to the light is revealed clearly what it is. Since anything revealed is light, this is why it says, get up, sleeper, arise from the dead, and the Messiah will shine on you. So here's what your enemies want to do, especially my enemies. They don't want you to connect to stay properly connected to the light. This is what paganism does. Paganism doesn't allow the real light to shine to where they will see you as a god. Okay? Where they will see you manifest power as if you can do things. But see, the problem is those who are in darkness can also imitate. This is the problem. Okay? Manipulation of the powers never wants to be back in the hands of Yakubi, Isaile. Doing the righteous, that's why I talk about being the spiritual and Zoan zombie is a problem for those who don't want to lose their power, who don't want to lose control, and don't want to lose their wealth. But soon there's no choice in the matter. This is why anybody can sit there and look shiny like good new money, but on the inside, what is there? That's the whole concept of blocking people from being a real true Mayamona, is to be able to see who you really are in the heart. What is your heart for? Is it conflicted? Is it this? You know, I know I'm dealing with this struggle every day, because this is what this whole world is about, to keep us in conflict and not allow us to shine the right way by keeping you blocked and not letting you open up. You open up, that's a problem. Okay? Therefore, pay careful attention to how you conduct your life. Even me, I have to be careful. Live wisely, not unwisely. Use your time well, for these are evil days. He's talking even about then. So you can only imagine the evil days after Rome conquered the Bana Betu, and then of course went after the Khazars, the evil days continued. You know, we watched this, you know, they show how the tortures that they used to do and the mechanisms they used to get people to be obedient, those never stopped. You think they have what they haven't. Go back to the way that when they used to conquer various civilizations, and everybody was, I mean, the Asian had their versions, the any other civilization, they had some form of way to destroy people or conquer people or do bad things with different tools. Okay. And also debauchery with sexual immorality. Okay. This was a common practice among a lot of wicked things. Okay. It was very common. They just they just hid the history because when they wanted to create this, what they call wonderland of deception that people live under now, they don't want people to remember what their ancestors used to be like. They don't want that. Okay? Because then you will know who you really are. Now Tatanzambi is going to say, I am going to remind these people of who they are and what they were, and the fact that they didn't think they changed. This is just a different spell that they're under. Okay? So don't be foolish, but try to understand what is the will of Tatanzambi. See, people go and they say, I want to understand the will of the Lord. You cannot understand the Most High as a pagan. It's not possible. You will never know the Most High's will following pagan practices. For example, like I said, the calendar of Rome is not the Most High's calendar. The calendar of the Greeks is not the Most High's calendar. Okay, the practices and the feast days that they have allotted in many of these different beliefs of Christianity and Islam and Judaism, they don't align with Tatanzambi at all. They don't align with the Most High's ways. They have acted like they do, but they really don't. They are taking things and they are mocking the people who should be doing it the right way. And then, of course, when you have people following the correct path, the correct times, those people are also Baal worshippers themselves. Okay? They're still under Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra has nothing to do with King Kongo. No. Nothing. Kaina, Amun-Ra Kaina has nothing to do with Tatanzambi. No. They're not the same. One is the snake spirit, one is the real spirit. Okay? So the world's going to continue to be against the people that talk about these things. See, even the image of leper Kaina continues to deceive the world. His seed, his image has been plastered in the DNA. That's why we talk about blood types. People don't understand what that really is. This is how they know your lineage, even when they do the DNA. And the blood type that they want to destroy is the Bakongo one. Okay? It's the Bana nZolele. It says here, don't get drunk with the wine because it makes you lose control. Instead, keep on being filled with the Spirit. Sing in tumba. They say psalms. Psalms is what they said, hymns and spiritual songs to each other. These aren't the songs that they see. The songs that Christianity has invented are not the same frequency as the Bantu songs. No, I have now understood that. There's a reason why people dancing in the Caribbean and moving like this. I get it now, but they'll say, oh no, they're under the Kundalini snake. I said, when you go and use it for debauchery, yes. And you're using it for what they call secular ways, you know, like salsa. I don't mind like salsa, merengue, samba, all the different dances. People love to do them, but they don't understand that the rhythm and the music still comes with the Kundalini. Okay? Tatanzambi's kaiso, as we call it in the Caribbean, or his type of music, is eliminating that spirit. So you don't get the fiery blood problems where you're dealing with the lust and the desires of shaking your hips and moving your body. It's not designed for what? flesh. It's designed for his movements are designed for spirit. Now, of course, people will say, well, no, in churches we move, we clap our hand, we sing, or whatever. Okay, this is true. But when you're not in the right spirit, you are not edifying the creator, but you're meant to think so. And this is where the secret societies continue to blind the world. Okay? No, you're singing to Amun Ra. You're not singing to the Most High. But you're not supposed to know that. You're singing to Zeus. You're singing to Jupiter or Saturn, okay? But you can't know this, because if you do know this, then the people with the power, the money, and the control, they lose. It comes down for those who have been thinking that they understand the truth, okay? And that's a problem, okay? Because they're making money off of everything that they're selling to you. And our people are being basically bought off. You just don't get it. To continue to teach people the wrong way. And they are. Sing to the Mfumu, make music in your heart to him. Always give thanks for everything. For Tatanzambi the Mfumu is the name of Yeshua the Messiah. The Mfumu. We never said, Lord, let me go pull it up. For people who have issues that don't understand. When you pull up the name, this name, you're going to see, actually, let me do it like this. Well, this is that one. This is where it all started. Back in they call it the ancient Semitic. So when you say anti-Semite, it means you're basically being anti-Hittite goddess and anti, Baal, technically. Okay. And I'm almost done. I didn't want to take too long. Let's see if they have them. Here we go. These are all the names for him. Now you're going to get it. That's why they want you to say dad. See this? Now they'll say key, but that's when he's mocking the Kikongo, the cheat is really spelled with a KH, that's why. So you see Shem. So Shem is really Baal, the bad side of Samuel. But then you'll say, when you go to this one, you're going to hear where it says Lord. Etymology. The spelling of the English term Baal derives from the Greek, which appears in the New Testament and Septuagint, from the Latinized form Baal, which means Vulgate. Appears in the Vulgate. These forms derive from vowelless Semitic Phoenician and Punic. Okay, they're all involved in this. The words biblical sense and Phoenician deity and false gods generally extended to the Protestant Reformation and denote any idols, icons of the saints of the Catholic Church, but they're still doing it. They just don't know that. In such context, it follows the Anglican pronunciation. It says here, in Northwest Semitic language, Hebraic, Phoenician, Hebrew, this is actually Bana Betu, Amorite, and Aramaic, the word Baal signified owner, and by extension, Lord, master, or husband. Okay? This is what we keep trying to tell people. It's like, look, he put his name in the scriptures. That's why Tatanzami said we don't call him no longer Bali Isi. Really, Toko, husband, also is associated with that. Realistically speaking, if you do the Kikongo, like I said, for husband, this is what Tatanzambi should be. Bakala. Okay? Tatanzambi should be Bakala to the Bana Betu nZolele. Okay? That's what we're supposed to be, not Balal. All right, so let me go back to where I was. Sorry. I'm almost done here. Because I didn't want to go too long. I know people have been eating a lot. So when you go to what he talks about, so when you talk about what happened with this is what took place. He was under that spirit, and that's what caused him to build it. So now when you go to, where was I? Sorry, I lost my place. I thought I closed some of these, but I still have too many open. Let me go back to Ephesians. Okay, he says, submit to one another the fear of the Messiah. Wives should submit to their husbands, and they do to the Lord. As now, here's where people misinterpret this. Wives submit to their husbands as they do to the Mfumu, Yahweh Kongo, to Most High. Okay? Because the husband is the head of the wife, just as the Messiah, as the head of the Messiah community himself, one who keeps the body safe. That means you're not abusing. Submission to your wife does not mean you abuse her like a slave. This is the deception. Okay? Even in Christianity, you look at the history of how they taught that they treated the women. Technically, this is the concept of why women's rights really come from, is because of people who are following the Bible carnally and not in spirit. Kusa Kongo never would approve of how you mistreat women. Adama wasn't like that. Adama wasn't supposed to be like that. Okay, they were one flesh. They complement each other. So it's like when you're dealing with a spouse, it's like you're a shepherd of sheep. Do shepherds go and start beating the sheep over the head and you know, sometimes they say, oh yeah, well, they get out of line. But I'm just saying, the concept is, it's not about verbal abuse or manipulation. It's not about condemnation. It's about pity. We don't get that. Okay. This is why even our own people mistreat each other, because those who taught us, they abused us, and the historical fact is going to come out of who was involved when they took us, and it was horrible. And these are priests, okay? And don't think when the protests happened, it didn't get any worse. Yes, it did. The Protestant people abused us too, bad. They don't get it. They're going to find out. Okay? It said, this is how husbands ought to love their wives, like their own bodies. Okay. Right here goes to show, even if I am at fault, love for my spouse or love for your wife, and people who have multiple wives, I get that, should be like how you love yourself. Do you abuse yourself? How you treat yourself is how you're going to treat your family. That's part of the problem. And what you choose to believe and hear is going to affect your family. Always. That's why they needed us to continue to do the slave master's belief, because they know it causes curses on purpose. And they needed our people to help with that. And they have been doing it for years. Okay? Make it look good even though it's bad. They've always been doing this. Okay? Why? No one ever hated his own flesh. On the contrary, he feeds it well and takes care of it, just as the Messiah does the Masonic community. You have pastors out here that are spiritually abusing you. You know why? If they would teach the truth, they would lose their church. They know that. Because they work for the one who hates you. How do we know? Look who runs the communities, who runs the world, who's on top. If the Most High was truly running America, like they want to claim that he is, do you know how different it would be than what they're telling you? You're saying, oh, well, we're at the mercy of those who are greedy and whatever. Yeah, but they couldn't stand. They'd be gone out of the picture. Look what happened to us. When the Bana Betu, we had to get out of his sight. You cannot be there. Okay? You would nowhere put up one of these, you would never put up these things anywhere around the Most High. No way. You have lost he'd be like, you lost your mind. And there's no way I gave you all the different names for this joker. I just showed you. It's all part of their lie. They know this. See, he's the god of fertility, weather, rain, wind, lightning, season, war, and sailors. So now you want to see why this is why the weatherman wants to continue to lie to people? His symbolism is the bull, the ram, the thunderbolt, the ancients. See, the bull, the ram, and the thunderbolt. You think it's just they just do these things by accident? See, these are the parents, and so they say. These are watchers. Ellen, see? That's why I told you, the Most High's house is the house of Kongo, not of El. Betu, not Bet El. You're getting played. Okay? So now what we need to realize is, here we go with what we can now expect. The more people keep thumbing up their nose at the Most High and saying, we're going to stay with this joker, it's going to continue to bring about more change. Big time change. Because Christianity doesn't think that this is their God when it is. Islam doesn't think that this is their God when it is. Judaism, well, the leaders in the Judaism, they know this is their God. But they're not going to tell you that. Okay? And all the other beliefs for the top people who run them, they know this is who their God is. They know this is Buddha and all these other gods. But they won't tell their followers, no way. Okay? They know it's all the same. It's a one-world religion already. They know it's all going back to Cain and Sol Invictus. They know this, but you can't know this. The Bana Betu, nZolele, we are not supposed to be. See, it says the Yahwehs. That's why I try to tell people it's Yahweh Kongo, not Yahweh Baal. There's a difference. Because this is how the devil pretends to be the Most High. Because I told you, it's about the spirit, not necessarily the name. You have to reject him in order to operate in the kingdom of Kongo spirit. You have to. You don't reject Baal, okay? If you don't reject that entity, the Most High don't see you. But see, you have people who have acted like you have rejected him and you haven't. Because like I said, if you're going to continue to listen to anybody under the Masonic orders who have infiltrated everywhere, by the way, okay? If you're going to continue to listen to them, this is your God. Now, they will tell you a truth with a lie, so you got to discern the truth, but you got to catch where the lie is. Okay, this isn't right. Something's off here. Like I said, this is the Kundalini spirit. Okay? So now, understand the difference to this. In order to discern spirits, you cannot be under the spells. And then when you're not under the spells, that's when you become the bad guy. The sorcerer always did that. Look what I told you. Go back to what I read in the scripture. It was the apocalypse of Paula, when he said, look, he told them, Simeon said, this is a sorcerer, do you believe, O good emperor, that I who was dead and rose again am a magician? See, he always going to do this. For it had been brought about my own cleverness that the unbelieving Simon said to Nero, order me to be beheaded in a dark place, and there will be left slain. And if I do not rise on the third day, I know that I'm a magician. But if I rise again, I know I am the Bana Betu, the Son of God. Nero, having ordered this in the dark by his magic art, he managed that a ram should be beheaded. For so long did the ram appear to be Simon until it was beheaded. And then when he had beheaded in the dark, he that beheaded him, taking the head, found it to be that of the ram. But he would not say anything to the emperor lest he could scourge him, having ordered it to be done in secret. You see, he's going to play games. This is how the Shaitani does it. Okay? But see, he comes back and said, and when Nero said, tomorrow prove your turn, Paula said, you, Paula, why do you say nothing? Either who taught you or whom you have for a master, or how have you taught in the cities, or what things have happened through your teachings? For I think that you have not any wisdom and are not able to accomplish any work of power. Paul says, do you suppose that I ought to speak against a desperate man? See, this is why I tell people, don't give ignorance the light of day. This is why Kuswa Kongo was saying, hey, look, if these people want to be foolish about the fact that they don't think they're pagans, just let it go. You can't teach this because this is how much they're under the spell of this joker right here. He convinced Nero that he was the Messiah, and he's been convincing these people he's been the Messiah ever since. And he's the one that changed the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. If they don't want, and he's affiliated with the Sanhedrin and Islam and Judaism and all the other religions, if they don't want to see this guy as an imposter, let it go. Shake your sandal. Okay? He is pretending to be Kuswa Kongo. He put his name in the Bible. He put Kuswa Kongo stuff in there, but he changed some things. Okay? Kuswa Kongo did say shake your sandals. But it's the sorcerer making you think it's the real one when it's him. Okay? Do you suppose that I ought to pretend to be, if not deceive men by magic art? If you consent to hear his words and shield him, you will destroy your soul and your kingdom. See, if you consent to hear his words and to shield him, you will destroy your soul and your kingdom, for he is a most base man. That's what happened to the kingdom of Kongo de Ntotela and to the Bana Betu of nZolele. We listened to this knucklehead again, who deceived already the going goyim, and our kingdom got destroyed. Whenever you obey the imposter messiahs and the imposter gods, you will destroy your temple. This is what has happened to us. You will not live the way you should. You're going to suffer in pain. You're going to get diseases. You're going to get sicknesses. And he's going to always come up with the alternative to the fact that you're not getting healed. For he is and as the Egyptians and Janus and Jambres led Pharaoh and his army astray until they were swallowed up by the sea, so also is he, through the instruction of his father the devil, persuades men to do many evils to themselves, and thus deceives many of the innocent to the peril of your kingdom. But as for the word of the devil, which I see been poured out through this man, who groanings of his heart I am dealing with, the Manda Velala, that is my clearly shown that is for as far as he sees to raise himself towards heaven, so far will he be sunk down into the depths of Hades, where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's why I tell people, you're going to the pit of Apollyon and not away from it, as long as you think that this sorcerer is the real Messiah and the real creator. And he's not just white, he's all different races. I have seen them. Okay? I have seen this. And he is reptilian, and he is a demon, and he is with the false spirits. And he can shapeshift like crazy. But he will tell you, oh, shapeshifters don't exist. He's the one teaching this stuff in your schools, to your children, the good and the bad together, and in the churches, and who's running the businesses. This is Esau. This is Cain. This is how the cities of Cain have now come to be once again. Oh no, this guy's crazy. He's stupid. He's Looney Tunes, like the days of Noah. Because this is the same spirit that was upon them then, and has continued to be throughout the ages. King Kongo knows the difference between this guy and the real one. The problem is we forgot to do the same. This is the spirit that has misled even the priests to continue to get connected to this wicked temple. Right here. You're connected to this one, not the other one. And the other temple of Davidi went with Isaiah, became Isaiah, became Kusfa Kongo. And the Christians think, oh, that's the one we're talking to, when no, you're talking to the one who built this. You're talking to the idiot who thinks he's the Most High. You're talking to this joker right here. This is who you're talking to. And oh, he can do everything like the Messiah except raise the dead. That's why you see talk about the goat. He said, oh, but he can't cast, oh, but he can make those demons chill out so you don't think they're gone, but they're still sitting there. You see? And this is why they need us to keep breaking the most laws, statutes, and commandments. Yes, you can go and pray and do prayers, but there are certain things that the Messiah will say, I don't ever break the law of Moses, but I fulfill it. So you can remain cursed by listening to the, I'm telling you, you keep listening to people who are under the Kundalini spirit, you will find yourself with this guy. And I know who they are. I'm like, you believe this guy's Mayamona, you believe this guy's Simantoko, Kimbangu, the Messiah, whatever. You keep believing this guy's the Messiah, you're gonna find out. I'm telling you. The going of the world are already deceived. That's why all of the cities that they have built are destroying them, not helping them. They don't know. There are curses upon the whole world, but see, this joker here will pay you to make the King Kong, to make the Most High mad. This is the one recompensing the Most High. And Yod, with all this, this is the Mount Hermony and everything. Okay? All right. Zola Quingy and Sambololo. Let's see, what was the song? Trying to get I had it earlier, and I was trying to get the song, the rhythm for it. These are called Sambu Yumbila. No, that's not it. Wizokusambu yimbili wao. Kari kese tunaka. Kemben zambi yando wao. Wizokusambu wa. Wiza means covenant. Wiza kembo watu yimbila. Kunga. Kunga is where you get the Congo from. Meto miato danga. Zambi nZolele. The Almighty of the ones he loves. Wizo kusambuwa. The Wiza, the prayer of the Samba, of the covenant. Zambi utuvangidi. Ikekutuyidin wila. Kanda, see Kanda, and Kanda is the scriptures. Kanda and the katu kwiti kahu watu longanga, the teacher of the priest. Yiza kembo watu yimbila kunga meto miatondanga. Zambi nZolele, wizokusambuwa. Yisu, see Yisu is how we said Jesus. Yisu wa yisa ovanza, kenda zingi, Holy Spirit, o sanganga of the priest. Edi kakwana over tufwa, over the death. Kisi tumanga. Wiza kembo watu yimbila. Kunga meto miato danga. Zambi nZolele. Wizokusambuwa. Wiza kembo watu yimbila. To yimbila praise. Kunga meto miato danga. Zambi nZolele. Wizokusambuwa. Engita, hallelujah, Bayeti Nkosi. Wakanda, prepare. Prepare yourselves. We have to continue to prepare ourselves because now it gets very serious. It's going to start getting more and more serious. Things more and more are going to happen. Yeah, I'm not even this winter. Oh boy. I just hope we can make it through because it's going to get interesting. But times are coming when the world's going to understand the mistakes that they have made because they had the grace period and they squandered it because they listened to the people who told them a bunch of half-truths. Half-truths. They had 100 years and you listen to the people who let you squander it. I'm like, okay, we have given away our inheritance to Esau and he's refusing to give it back. And our own people are letting him continue to be like this because they want to worship this stupid god Kaina and help continue to live his lies. When he thinks, I'm going to beat Tatanzambi and Pungu all the time. That's all Kaina thinks about. Of course, he's with the devil. I'm going to beat Tatanzambi and Pungu all the time. He's talking about this. Shaking his fists. Rebellion. So that's the whole concept. Like episode, Ephesians, they call it, says, episode, episio. Guiding our steps, walking our way, even me, not to be hypocritical. We all have to do our best to look for the will of Tatanzambi, always. And try our best not to do our own will, you see. All right, Zola Quingi and Sambololo. And again, we got to fight this Kundalini spirit because it's getting stronger and stronger. And we got to break free. We got to do it. And don't let those who are manipulating, who are under the Kundalini spirit, make you think otherwise. They can say and tell you how to do and how to act and how to be to become one with the Most High, and then turn around and they're doing things to pulling you away. I'm telling you, you don't even know. They're gonna make themselves look like they're in righteousness, but they are in fact trying to steal your power. I'm not trying to do that. No. My goal is to keep helping you get your power and keep it. Don't let anybody who is dealing in the Masonic, have Tatanzami reveal it. Show me the people in the secret societies. Tell him, ask him. He's going to show you. You'll be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that guy was in. Yes. You're going to find out who took the oath. Ask Tatanzami, who took the oath of the Watchers and who didn't. This is how you're going to know. Zola Kwingi, Sambolono, Inawe Yabe Kongo Kutwala. Ingita.